Namaste, Jai Bharat. Culture, civilization, etc. are supposed to mean refined human existence. When you talk about culture individual, one may say that it's refined human existence. Refined here ought to mean that minus possible impurities and impurities as you understand given context, of course. And civilization is a collective refined human existence, which is rather coexistence of the multiple and plural. Given this, as time goes ahead, as time moves forward, the world is supposed to be more and more civilized, and civilization is contradictory to conflict and contradiction. Coexistence ought to be one of the main pillars of civilization. Coexistence of the multiple and plural, simple as that. But then today when we look at the world is hardly coexisting. Hardly coexisting. How many wars are running in this world right now? There is Ukraine-Russia war, which had been going on for quite some time. You know it. For how many years? Then the Iran-America war. And Iran, since they are unable to attack America directly, that's one plus point for the Americans. They are very far from this place. So Iran can't do anything directly, but then they are so mischievous, they can do anything indirectly, and that is more important. So they started attacking wherever there are American bases, bringing unpleasantness and antagonism of the other so-called Arab nations. They also have an inherent contradiction with the Arab nations because Iran is explicitly Shia leadership and widely Arab nations are Sunnis. That's within Islam. So this one you see. Many other conflicts are there. Suddenly America goes to Venezuela and plucks up, not picks up, plucks the president and imprisons him and puts him this. Now these are all for their own gains. They have some calculations, mostly business interests, money interests, etc. And you go to Afghanistan. Afghanistan was slowly coming to normalcy in spite of their Taliban rule. The name Taliban, and then if you compare with the previous Taliban, this Taliban is far refined. This is my perception. And then they have problems. People are attacking them, and they are of course counter-attacking. Afghanistan, the Pathans are very good warriors. The historical warriors. You attack them, they won't keep quiet. They will counterattack. That's what happens to Pakistan. And Pakistan was so ambitious about Afghanistan because Pakistan don't dare a direct fight with, not just with Bharat, with anyone. They would try to use proxies as Iran is capable of. Iran is expert in using proxies. So Pakistan dreamed of using Afghanistan against Bharat in certain interests, which failed. Which failed means things happened the other way around. The Afghans are sort of upright people, straightforward people, and to a large extent they are transparent. They found it comfortable to have relations with Hindus than treacherous Pakistanis. Simple. And the relations are transparent, so they continue, they're comfortable. Bharat is also very comfortable with them. But then they have problem with Pakistan. The so-called Durand line, these Britishers, they sat on a table and started drawing borders for many nations, which created a lot of problems, lots and lots of problems. So the Durand line, which of course divides the Afghanis, Pathans. So they wouldn't accept that. They wanted their people to be in one province. So comes the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and those people wanted freedom. Freedom in the sense independence from Pakistan. Now Pakistan itself is a semblance of mistake. And the person who understood that Pakistan is not viable is none other than Muhammad Ali Jinnah himself. Fundamentally, Muhammad Ali Jinnah was a Gujarati from Junagadh, Bharat, and he knew that all these things you put together in the name of religion, there is no flexibility with it. Because the moment you start planting differences, the differences grows, and then you will find one contradicting with himself. And that's the theory how it goes. So perhaps Jinnah knew it. Now his plan was different. He was all for the Muslims because he had such dislike towards Hindus for reasons personal to him. So he wanted Muslims to get all benefits from the Hindus by creating reservations for Muslims being in Bharat. So he wanted not a separate nation, he wanted reservations for his people. That would have been fatal for the general public, obviously. So Pakistan itself was a semblance of mistake. They thought they can coexist, but they cannot. And this man Iqbal, another Punjabi, who gave the theory that Islam is a polity, Islam is a unity, that's it. Many people believed it because when convenience becomes criteria, people fall into it. As a result, first Bangladesh falls apart. The dark, short-statured Bangladesh were not up to the standard of the normal Punjabis. Well, it started with that and then went into all directions, and then Bangladesh becomes a separate nation. Separated, East Pakistan turns into Bangladesh. But Bangladesh is not learn anything from it. Now they are going after Pakistan. They will want another blow. Till then it shall continue. That's their problem. And the Baluchis were deceived right from the day one. They wanted independence. They didn't want to be a part of Pakistan. Muslims they were majority. They didn't want a Pakistan. But they were forced to be a part of Pakistan. Yes. And now they wanted separate Balochistan, and Balochistan is the declared freedom. 11th of August they wanted it. They would celebrate as Independence Day, and Balochis would call for independence. They have their currency, they have their national anthem, such things, and declare independence. So that is one thing. Then comes to the Kashmir. Initially the Kashmiris, the Punjabis used to tell Kashmiris that Tera mera rasta kya hai la ilaha illallah. No, that kind of sentimental approach of using religion. And the Mirpuris and the Kashmiris, they were way against Hindus because the Hindu hatreds were implanted in the minds of Kashmiris for various reasons. Obviously, you know what they are. And these Kashmiris, under the occupation of Pakistan, they believed that Islam is unifying. But then they found that the Punjabi is exploiting them. When they say Punjabis, Pakistani Punjabis, and their character is totally different from the Punjabis in Bharat. Those who live in Punjab, Bharat Punjab, and those who interact with them will know it. But I persisted in the Punjabi, which I know. So those Pakistani Punjabis, they have lost their Punjabi pun or Punjabiness, and they were deculturized, deconstructed in culture, and they are neither here, no, they are na ghar ka na ghat ka. They are neither proper appropriate Muslims, and they have also lost their Punjabi identity, and they are a kind of hybrid, creating all kinds of hybrid problems. And they have so much of what you call attitude. That's a modern word, attitude. And the Pakistan occupied Kashmiris have started suffering. They were but still against the Hindus. They continued, and when in 1990 the Muslims, Kashmiri Muslims, were forcing Kashmiri Hindus from Kashmir, though the Kashmiri Hindus are normally called as Pandits, not necessarily all are Pandits, that's a different story, but they're generally called as Kashmiri Pandits, because Kashmir was once upon a time a hub of knowledge. Refer that text Raj Tarankini, which talks much. Kashmir was a hub of knowledge once upon a time, so the Hindus of Kashmir just get the name as Kashmiri Pandits. So the Hindus were forced out of Kashmir, and this government at that time in Bharat, they just kept quiet. They were not proactive. At that time, this Pakistan occupied Kashmiris were very happy, because Hindu is the common enemy, as they were taught. Now these Pakistan occupied Kashmir people wanted independence from Pakistan, and some of them would want to join with Bharat. We don't want Kashmiris of Kashmir. We don't mind annexing Kashmir with us, because it's always a part of us. But not these kind of Kashmiris, Pakistani Kashmiris, who will take another 3 generations to redeem themselves. They were so deeply polluted. So look at this world. There is conflict, contradiction, and why do you think this world is civilized? Well, I don't think that you can legitimately call the world civilization is progressing when compared to the European war periods and the European conflict periods. But that period is not over. Even if nobody is fighting anyone, America is fighting everyone. So the problem of conflict and contradiction is more in the West than in the East, in spite of the fact that Islam is a great catalyst to conflict, in spite of the fact that the Europeans are more into this kind of things, and yet they claim to be civilized. And all these random thoughts should give you some direction to think, and rest it's up to you to think. We shall meet. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Sri Ram.